What up guys, this is Monkey Figure Reviews, and today we are back with another Figures News Updates video regarding upcoming One Piece Banpresto / Bandai Spirits figures. The first one on our list, this is actually a re-release. It is the One Piece magazine figure, A Piece of Dream number 2, Volume 1, Portgas DA's special version. His height is 18 cm and the release date is June 2022 this year. So Ace and Sabo were released not too long ago and they decided to come up with a special version this time, doing some changes to the figure. And for Ace, I think the main differences are on his outfit, the kimono, and the flower patterns, the designs. This time round it is much more distinct compared to the previous version. So I prefer this one over here for sure. And if you look closely, there's definitely some significant shading and shadowing added to the outfit along the creases and folds. That definitely brings the quality of the figure to a higher level. And I'll not spend too much time talking about this. I'll just quickly go through because the sculpt is essentially the same. But through the pictures, you should be able to see some of the color changes they have done, mostly on the outfit. Like even here from the side, you can tell that it is lighter at the front and darker towards the back. So there you go, the back is much more like a dark orange compared to the front. And this is back to the other side. So Sabo, this is a Volume 2 Sabo special version. His height is also 18 cm and the release date is also in June 2022 this year. For him, I can't really tell what are the main changes because he looks almost the same as the previous one. Maybe they did some changes with the shading and shadowing on his outfit as well, but maybe it's just not too clear on the photos. But I'll just quickly run through them so you can just take a look. And I think if you missed out previously on the original version, this is definitely a great opportunity to get an upgraded version when it comes to the colors. Next, we have DXF, the Grandline series, Wano Kuni, Volume 4, Monkey D. Luffy. His height is 16 cm and the release date is July 2022 this year. I know what most of you are thinking, another Luffy, another Onigashima Luffy after the previous one, which was not too long ago. And I have the same thoughts when I first saw that this figure was being released. They could have rushed out the rest of the crew like Yusa, Brook, etc. But they decided to do another Luffy. I do gotta say, once I saw the pictures, I think that this Luffy looks incredible. The facial likeness, the character likeness. This is probably one of the best that I've seen from the Grandline series. It is just so good. And his, doing his signature pose, cracking his knuckles, getting ready to fight, the smile and everything is just wonderful in my opinion. The majority of his body probably looks similar or very close to the one before. But honestly, I think that this figure deserves another look, especially if you're a Grandline series collector. His character likeness is just so good. We'll take a quick look at some of the details, and here on the pants you can see some significant shadowing, lighter towards the top and darker towards the bottom. The creases you can see for yourself, the straw hat, the string, the coats, and some shading around the top too. Some parts like over here are much more lighter, and over here along the creases. Can't see the body, but it looks like the muscles are over there, and we also have the golden buttons painted. Side view, the hair looks amazing, and the creases you can just clearly see for yourself on the coats, on his top, and also the sash and the pants. At the back, you can see his coats and the details on the straw hat. Probably not the most detailed one compared to the ones we have seen, but I guess it does the job. And this is the other side. So honestly, if you ask me, you missed out on the previous Onigashima Luffy. I think that this is a go. You can definitely go for this one. Next, we have the repaint version of the previous Yamato figure, and this is called the DXF, the Grandline series Wano Kuni Volume 4. Yamato, her height is 18 cm and the release date is July 2022 this year. For Yamato, I feel like they gave her a darker color palette compared to previously. Like for this part of her outfit, the skirt, this is definitely much darker. Previously, it is much closer to red, but now I would say it is much closer to maroon. And even the rope thing she has on her back, this is also much darker. Even the white becomes like dirty white. I think it is a shame that they did a second figure of her but didn't give her a weapon, because with that she would definitely look more complete. So side view, you can just see the details for yourself. Again, I will not spend too much time. The back, and I would say even for the hair colors, this definitely looks much more faded. The colors are less distinguished from each other, but the transit still goes as usual from white to teal and very, very light blue towards the end. And this is the other side. Next, we have the DXF, the Grandline series, Wano Kuni, Volume 5, Roronoa Zoro. His height is 17 cm, and the release date is also in July 2022 this year. We are getting a second Zoro figure similar to Luffy, so now you have two versions of him to choose from. This time Zoro has his arms crossed, looking pissed off and wearing his bandana, and I gotta say that the looks kind of doesn't match, because usually, as far as I can remember, when he's wearing the bandana, he's usually in battle, like he's fighting, he has his swords drawn, but here he's just kind of, just chilling down there looking pissed, which is kind of weird to me, but it is what it is. And I think if you look at the details, the face-wise is pretty okay. I think it's pretty decent, but something is a bit off. I'm not sure where. Maybe just a glance to his right is throwing the looks off a little bit, together with the shape of the frown. And the muscles, the neck muscles, all look amazing from this picture. And arm muscles even from here, the forearm. The sword details look great. Metallic golden painting at the areas where it's supposed to be. We also have Emma over here. And the rest of his outfit, the creases, you just see for yourself. The color is more like a dark grey with a red waist sash over here. At the bottom, his boots have a glossy shine to them. Side view, a look on his side profile. A bit of his hair, the earrings, and how the bandana is tied towards the back. Some of the creases here, I think they all look great, kind of along the Grandline standards. Back view, not much to see here really, just maybe another look on the hair and the folds on the bandana. And this is the other side, where you can see Zoro looking straight at you. He's looking at his side over here to his right. Overall, I wouldn't say that this Zoro is a huge upgrade compared to Zoro 1. Unlike Luffy, Luffy definitely the second version is better. So definitely up to you whether or not you want to get him. If you ask me, I would probably say only get it if you are a huge Zoro fan. Next figure, this is also a re-release, and it is called DXF, the Grandline series, Wano Kuni Volume 5, Kozuki Momonosuke. His height is 12 cm, and the release date is July 2022 this year. Like I said, they are just re-releasing the previous Grandline Children Wano Kuni Momonosuke, just that this time round he has a training bamboo sword in his right hand. And it is a bummer, because if I knew that they were going to come out with this version, I would not have ordered the first one. It's a bit of an ass if you ask me what they are doing, re-releasing these figures, adding some additional parts or recoloring, because oftentimes the second versions are better than the first versions. So nowadays, I guess if you miss out on the first version, don't be too sad. You might get a better version down the line, like this Momonosuke. Yeah, and other than the sword, I couldn't tell if there are any other differences. I'll just quickly go through the pictures, because the sculpt, once again, they look almost the same, exactly the same. Maybe the painting, they added a bit of extra to the kimono with the patterns. I'm not so sure, because I've not seen this figure in real life, and I'm not able to do a correct comparison, but it looks like they are almost exactly the same, except for really just this sword. Next, this is from the Banpresto Chronicle series, where they released older One Piece figures with new paint quality, new sculpt quality, and of course charging them at a premium, almost double or 2.5 times the price depending on where you buy them from. And this is the Chronicle Flag Diamond Ship Bois Hancock figure. Her height is 23 cm, and the release date is August 2022 this year. I used to own the original OG version of this figure. In fact, I believe it is one of the first few figures I review on this channel, and I no longer have it anymore. But I can see why this figure is popular enough to warrant a upgraded re-release, because it is Hancock in a very sexy outfit. She's a popular character, And this time around, I think they changed quite a bit in terms of the colors. You can just go online and compare them themselves, but this used to be red, I believe, and all this used to be red, but now it is more like a purple. It's like a dark purple, and the golden painting on the parts like over here on the hats, the Jolly Roger, the earrings, they all look to be much more glossier and shinier than before, even for the supporting stand, which is supposed to be coins or treasures. And I would say that based on the prototype, the jewelries, they all look amazing. The paint quality is top notch, with the fingernails painted, some of the rings, some of the bracelets, and it looks almost that the sculpt has a much smoother texturing compared to before, and hopefully it is the same when it comes out because they're paying a lot more for these figures. I will just run through the pictures, and here at the side you can look at her chest, those huge cleavage, definitely very sexy. Her top definitely looks very makeshift, looks like it's torn from a shirt and just tied together. And I would say that the face is probably not the best. From my memory, the original one looks better than over here. This one doesn't look as much like Hancock. It could be that the face is a bit too wide across. And rest of it, I think I can see the line over here to show a bit of her muscles, the belly button, her thighs. If you look at her skin, it almost looks like they have bring it up to another notch with the way they have painted the colors. So you do have some sort of shading and shadowing around certain areas. The skin definitely looks much more natural compared to before. And this is the side view, so you can check out her hips over here and some of the accessories on her left side. The head generally looks the same, flowing towards the back, but I did notice that towards the front here, some of the left strands, towards the end, it does have a bit of a blue paint to it, so it kind of has a bit of transitioning of colors over there. The back view, and again, the hair quality looks exceptional, and towards here you can see some of the creases on the back of her top, and a bit of her back muscles, her butt. And here you can really appreciate the details on her boots that goes so high all the way up above her knees. The laces. Towards the bottom we can see the heels. Silver in color, has a very metallic look to it, and you can tell that just by the paint application from the picture. It looks amazing, together with these pieces over here. And again, the base with treasure bars, gold bars, coins. Over here we have a few more artistic promotional shots. Yeah, I think here in the photos you can really tell the texturing they added definitely feels or looks much more expensive than the quality they used before. And again, her jewelries, her accessories all look amazing in the picture. Close up again so you can see some of the lines over here at the top. Looks great, almost looks like leather actually. And here we can take a look at her tummy. Actually, I think the focus is supposed to be the belt. Over here, heart shapes, some random designs, the bracelets, the rings on her fingers. And here we can take a look at the purple belt over here with the buckle. They all look amazing. The nails actually looks incredible as well. It looks like something you would see in real life. Closer of the boots, and same thing as before. They all look really, really good. If you miss out on the OG version and you really like this figure, this is definitely a great time to get this one. And the good thing is that we can obviously see significant upgrades throughout the whole figure. Next, this is the Chronicle King of Artists Portgas DA's version 3. The height is 18 cm and the release date is August 2022 this year. This figure is the next one after Hancock from the Banpresto Chronicle series, and I gotta say I'm very interested in him because I didn't have the original version. I missed out on that guy, and just by looking at the pictures here that we're gonna look through later, the overall quality is of the highest level, comparable to, you know, expensive figures like POPs. If you look at it, I believe whether or not you are a fan of Ace, you are just gonna appreciate the work done on Ace. I've always been a huge fan of the King of Artists style, and I think over here they even took it to levels that I never thought it is possible. Let us take a look at the details. I think the face is very close to how he looks like in Alabasta. I'm not gonna talk too much about that. A bit of the hair. The hats, man, I think you guys can see the way they've done it is to really make it as realistic as possible with just texturing and towards the parts to the left and right you can tell that there's a bit of wear and tear. So it's a very kind of realistic interpretation of the hat. I'm not sure if that is the same on the original version, but when I saw this, it just impressed me. And even on the edges of the hats over here, it has a very uneven look, a very uneven worn look to it. So honestly, those details are things that I dig. And of course, the way they play with the colors, the orange, how they play with the intensity of it, really helps to capture that three-dimensional look on the hat. We have the straps over here coming down to this Oz-like skull design. And on the outfit, you can tell that there's a lot of random wear and tear on it as well. Some parts are just being worn out, like even the fire over here, the pins is just getting scrubbed off. So that's amazing in my opinion. The muscles you can see a bit over here, the belts, the hand details from this angle, they're alright. And the pants, we get a usual creases, but it almost looks like the way they've added all these blemishes. It's like maybe there's some sand or dust trapped in them. Same for the boots as well. I think it is much more clearer on the front boots over here. A lot of dirt marks on them and just kind of randomly thrown around. A different angle here, and I think you can really see what I'm trying to say with the top that he's wearing. With some of the probably like sand over here in some of the creases. And even the white parts here, you can just see that there's a layer of dirt or sand on them. Details are just absolutely incredible. I really dig this kind of realistic design. Here you can see the details of his scarf around his neck and also the texturing on the hat. The other side, we get a clearer look on the design of his coats, the flames going around the sleeves, the creases here, the lines added, texturing. Again, he has a bit of a leatherish feel, leatherish look to it. Some of the flames at the back. And maybe I got it wrong previously because this part here looks to have a glossy gold paint. So maybe this part here is also a metallic paint, just that the angle and lighting made it look like it was dirt. So I think it is, yeah, I think from this angle, this is definitely a glossy metallic paint, gold color added to it to give it a bit of shine. And the pants, we have those scratches, blemishes, very realistic, even on the pouch. You know, the sheath for his dagger. The back view, you can see his right fist, some of the bones coming out. And even on the fires, there's color variation, so definitely makes the figure looks more interesting. The only thing missing from this figure is just the flame effects coming out from the hands. With that, he will look complete. Once again, artistic promotional shots, and he looks so good, guys. He just looks so good. I'm not even a big Ace fan, but as a One Piece figure collector, just by looking at the effort they've put into this, it might just be the best Chronicle figure yet so far from all the figures they've re-released. Shanks looks pretty good too, but this Ace is wow. And even if you've gotten the first version, honestly, there's no harm getting this one. There's gonna be a lot of display value in him. Alright, we are coming to the end. This is the last figure. It is the Grandista Nero Grandline Man Trafalgar Law version 2. His height is 29 cm. For Law, I have not seen an official release date yet, but likelihood should be in August or September. I will probably confirm this in my next video. It's been a while since we have gotten a Grandista figure, never mind if it's Nero or not. So now they are going back to do Law, which is a bit disappointing, and it is him in the Punk Hazard outfit, which I'm not sure what to think because that's so long ago. I'd rather they just give us maybe Onigashima Law outfit. That would have been much more preferred. And they probably could have given us more of the Straw Hat crew, like Usopp, maybe a bigger size Chopper, Brook, Frankie. I think they could have done that if they wanted to. Maybe the pre-time skip versions, if they think the post-time skip versions are too much trouble. Let's take a look at this figure, and I would say from this picture you can't really tell much. I apologize, it is not the clearest. The face looks to be alright, wearing his hat. His left hand looks like he's using his Darefruit powers, and with the tattoos over there. And the coat is just a long coat that stretches all the way down with the Jolly Roger over here. His right hand holding the sword. And this is the side view. Again, the Jolly Roger over here. Some creases towards the front and back. Can't tell if there are any shading and shadowing around the figure, or is it just the lighting on the figure itself. So here we can take a good look on the sword. Nothing really special to talk about, I must confess. This is the other side, tattoos on the right hand as well. It's probably not possible to swap anything with the previous Law figure. Maybe the head, maybe just the head, because the rest of it, the outfits are different, the arm positions are different. So you can just take this as a new Law figure, unlike the previous Grandistas where you have to compare between the original and the Neros. And as far as we have seen so far, there are no other additional parts, but we have to wait and see if they give us any surprises. Here are some clearer shots. I think you can see the details on the figure much more clearer. For the face, now looking at it the second time with a clearer picture, I kind of think that he doesn't exactly look like Law. He's a bit fatter than usual. And I don't like how the hat is covering a good part of his face. So I think that you wouldn't be able to really enjoy his look if you display him on the shelf unless you display him high up. So you can look up at his face. If not, you're probably just gonna see his head all the time. Different angles once again. Yeah, and I think there's no shading so far. It's just the lighting, throwing the light on the figure. The coats does have a bit of a rough texture. Close up on the head, and yeah, I don't think he looks very much like Law at all. They didn't do well in the character likeness here. Alright guys, lastly, this is just a special figure I just want to mention, even though most of us probably would not be able to get our hands on this. This is the DXF Grandline Man Wano Kuni Hand 1000 Special Version Monkey D. Luffy. His height is 16 cm and the release date is September 2022 this year. So this figure is actually a limited edition figure. It is limited to 100 pieces, and I think you have to buy this DVD over here, the Wano DVD of the anime or the soundtrack. After buying those items, you would be able to enter a draw where you have a chance to get one of these special Luffy figures, black and gold, different color scheme compared to the one we saw in Onigashima or the original figure. And I'm pretty sure that this is only possible if you are in Japan. So like I said, most of us would not be able to even try our luck on this. But I gotta say, a black and gold limited edition Luffy figure, not bad, not bad. I think it looks good. The coat especially looks amazing, the waist sash. I can't wait to see reviews on him if people get them and post them online. Alright, that's all I have, and as usual, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, which figures you are going to get. If you like my video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. If you're new here, you like what I'm doing, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell notifications button so you don't miss out on new videos like this. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with me. I will see you very soon. Goodbye.